Good morning and welcome to episode 4 of the Teacher's Lounge. Mr. Hoppy's here today, and we do have a guest with us today, Mr. Schlender. Mr. Schlender, welcome to the Teacher's Lounge. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I've been a big fan of this broadcast for days now since you guys started, so it's really quite an honor to be with you today.
We decided to bring a guest in today because I'm sick of just losing to Mr. Hoppy, and we might as well let someone else beat me in a draft as well. Bring that up, I did lose the exercise draft by a slim margin, but still, I guess elliptically got Mr. Hoppy the win. So Mr. Hoppy, congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Moving on to our draft today. We're not going to go through too much of the background, but since it is our guest, we want to give Mr. Schlender a chance to explain the draft that we're doing today and how this one came to be. It's going to be an exciting one, and it's best told by Mr. Schlender. So Mr. Schlender, go ahead and explain the draft a little bit and how it came to be.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. Well, the seniors right now in senior social studies are reading the book Tuesdays with Maury, and all of you out there that will go to BHS as seniors will have a chance to read this. And there's an interesting part of the book actually on page, let me look here, page 108, there's a discussion with the main character, Maury Schwartz, and he's asked the question, if you believed in reincarnation, and if you were reincarnated, what type of animal would you like to come back as? And that's a very intriguing question, and his answer is a gazelle. He'd like to come back as a gazelle.
It's a terrible pick.
I take some exception with that myself. I'd like to pick something a little bit further up the food chain than a gazelle. Have you ever seen a calm, relaxed gazelle? No, they're always running from something. They're down by the water hole, to get a little drink, and then the crocodile comes out and eats the gazelle. But you want to be a gazelle because they're graceful and fast and all those good things. But so I talked with Mr. Hoppy and Mr. Banky and thought, what a great topic for a draft. And this should not be, and they agreed, didn't they? Didn't you guys agree?
Oh yeah,
yeah, we agreed.
Yeah. So that's what brings us to this point. And we just want to clarify, this is what animal would you like to come back as if you were reincarnated, not what's your favorite animal. Those are two completely different things. I have a lot of favorite animals out there that did not make my list as what I would like to be if I was an animal. So we're going a little deeper here today, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's important that our viewers understand that as they contemplate who has the best draft.
Exactly. It's not your favorite animal. It's the animal you'd like to come back as and actually be.
Yes.
That's big. That's big.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Schlender, before we get started?
Well, I noticed in your other episodes that you guys oftentimes will give your sort of your resume, your qualifications.
Yeah.
Regarding the topic that you're talking about. And I was happy that you were able to give me that opportunity. My main qualifications for this topic is I've been to a lot of zoos. I like going to the zoo. I've been to multiple zoos, and I've been to certain zoos multiple times. So I've seen a lot of different animals.
I thought you were going to say you've been reincarnated already. I was going to say that's
not that I know of. Not that I know of. But I have been, exposed to a lot of different animals, and I've studied the animals at the zoo. And I think I've got a really good, and I've also watched a lot of nature programs about animals. So I think those are my qualifications. I don't know if you guys have, visited a lot of zoos or not, but
I've been to one or two in my day.
Yeah.
Greenville, Wisconsin is home to the Special Memories Zoo, right in my hometown. So
I've never been to that one. I've heard good things about it though.
I heard they're shutting down.
Yeah, it's it wouldn't totally shock me if they shut down. It's I'm gonna go ahead and keep my comments to a minimum here on the Special Memories Zoo, but it does exist in my hometown.
Popular field trip destination for Brilliant Elementary School back in the day, actually, Special Memories Zoo.
I won't say too much in case we eventually get them out as a sponsor. I just really don't want to talk too much about them just in case they sponsor our program in the future. So
Understandable. All right.
With that, I think we do have to get started with the draft. What we're going to do is a snake style draft, just like we have been. Because Mr. Schlender is our guest, we gave him the first pick. And then based on a random wheel generator, I have the second pick. Then it goes Mr. Hoppy with pick 3 and 4. I have pick 5, and Mr. Schlender, you have pick 6. And we'll snake through all the way through 12 picks, okay?
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I hope our viewers are able to stay with us. This is going to be a little longer episode probably than some of the previous ones, but I think it's worth staying till the end.
Oh, for sure.
So I have first pick.
You're on the clock, Mr. Schlender.
Okay. I have a prop for my first pick, and this isn't going to be a surprise. I see Mr. Banky's shirt there, and I hate to steal the first pick, but here's my prop. I don't know if the viewers can see that, but that's my first pick right there. Now, this that I have, you see the claws on this? Look at that.
Careful.
This is actually a cinnamon black bear. It's just representative of my first pick. My first pick is an animal that I would like to come back as if I was reincarnated as a bear, but specifically a grizzly bear. And I think there's just a lot to like here. And I think it's pretty hard to disagree with that. A couple of the main points I would argue is, first of all, I like fish. I enjoy fishing. I think it'd be really cool to catch a fish with my bare claws and then eat some fresh salmon. Number 2, no real predators. Who's taking on a grizzly? Other than another grizzly. And third, and I'll make this fairly quick, I enjoy sleeping. And you get, as a bear, you get a free 3 months or so where nobody bothers you. Just eat, and then go to sleep for 3 months. Nobody bothers you. I don't see a whole lot to not like about being a bear. You got a pretty long lifespan as well. Nice.
Well, what's unfortunate
was that going to be your first pick too?
Is
boy,
that was going to be my pick. Is like this is trouble here. I mean,
that was going to be my pick too. Mine's even eating a fish.
Oh my. Well, I'm pretty lucky that I got the first pick because it sounds like that was going to be off the board.
I'm getting rid of this.
No matter what.
Great minds think alike, I guess.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Good first pick.
Oh, Mr. Hoppy, that's.
Oh, I forgot I was wearing my duck shirt today.
All right. Pick number 2. I'm up. This one might be a surprise. I thought a lot about this, and I'm going to go with a kangaroo.
Interesting.
And I have a couple of reasons for it. First of all, I like to, carry things around, keep snacks in my pockets and stuff like that. As an animal, the problem is you're always trying to find the next thing to eat. As a kangaroo, you always have a place to keep your snack. So if you find some food, you can save it in the pouch for later whenever you're hungry. That's my first reason. That not a lot of animals have that quality.
Second reason, that's good.
And former students that have had me, there's a video that we may have watched in 8th grade ELA about a kangaroo boxing a person. And kangaroos have a couple right hooks in them. So I would be able to protect myself with a quick right hook from predators. It's something that people underestimate about kangaroos, and I thought it was really cool. And I've never been to Australia, but it looks nice. So I think it would be cool to reincarnate in a place like Australia. So
great pick. I'm wondering if maybe Mr. Hoppy had kangaroo on his list because kangaroos jump or hop.
I know that was
sorry, I had to go there, but
no, I had that on my list as well. I mean, but luckily my number 1 on the big board is still available, which
good.
I thought this pick was going to be number 1 off the board, to be honest with you. And if I could come back, I would be a dog.
Yeah,
I mean, coming back as a dog. I mean, you have the love of a family. You're excited a lot. I mean, full of energy all the time.
Oh, look at that!
He's like, "What are you doing right now?" But it'd be I think that'd be the life. You get fed twice a day. You get a nice home that you live in. Might be outside. I mean, you might have to stay out in outdoor kennels sometimes, but that's okay. I mean, that's nice, especially if you're in the Schlender's garage combo there for your dog, right? You have kind of like a little indoor outdoor suite for your dogs, right?
They have a pretty nice life. Yeah,
Right.
They do.
So I'm going to go with dog, and I think that's got enough explanation as it is where I don't need to go too long into that, but that's my number one pick.
The only thing I'm going to say on that for the viewers is, it'd be nice to come back as a dog, but that's also, I think, crossing closely over into maybe our favorite animal rather than what we like to come back in.
Well,
you can have both. I mean, you can have both, but.
And that's what I thought of too, is a dog is one of my favorite animals, but also if I'm coming back as something, it's a pretty comfy life to come back into.
I agree.
Good. I'm going to go a totally different route on my second pick. And I'm going to go with I got props for everything here. I'm going to go with, I'm sitting on the sleeve. You're going to go with a gorilla.
Cat or a gorilla?
Yeah. We're going to go with the gorilla aspect of this. We're going to go with the gorilla as my number 2 pick. They're huge. They are not taken down very easily, kind of like with Mr. Schlender bringing up the grizzly bear in the beginning. King of the jungle. Pretty smart. They can cruise if they want to, too. They're fast. They can climb. No real I mean, gorilla seems like an obvious choice here at number 4. So I'll keep my explanation pretty low.
Is that gorilla Coco, the gorilla?
There's been debate. Many students have speculated it's Harambe. Some have speculated Coco. I mean, there's a variety of options. This could be festive Christmas sweater, though.
Yeah, that's a nice sweater.
Mr. Benke, back to you.
All right, I'm up with pick 5. Mr. Hoppy, I got a little worried when you put the sweater up because I saw cats on there. Not that my pick is a cat, but it's a cousin to the cat or a type of cat, and that would be a lion.
Nice pick.
That's a good pick.
Lion's pretty self-explanatory, just kind of like with the grill and the grizzly bear. It's obviously something that not a lot of animals are going to attack. And my favorite food right now is steak. If I reincarnated as a lion, I'd be having my fair share of steak. And that's why that was an easy pick. I'm glad it was still available.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
That was also on my list.
Mine as well.
All right, so that leaves Mr. Schlender. You have picked 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Oh, I'm very excited about that because both of my second and third picks are both still available. I'm going in a different direction here. So far, all of the picks have been, if I'm correct, have been 4-legged creatures. Am I correct?
Kangaroo?
Oh, well.
Yeah. Kangaroo.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, they got 4. Okay, yeah. I'm going this direction.
All right.
The bald eagle.
Bald eagle.
The bald eagle. Couple real good reasons for me personally. First of all, look at this. Right? I'm already evolving into the main descriptor of the bald eagle, bald.
I don't want to go, just side note, Mr. Hoppy, was that on your list too?
I am just following a long-running, brilliant social studies department tradition. Believe it or not, I can actually grow a full head of hair. I've just slowly started shaving it back to kind of keep in accordance with the social studies department in Brilliant.
Couple other reasons. Symbol of our nation. Social studies teacher. I enjoy talking about government and I enjoy talking about our country. I would be honored to come back as a symbol of the United States. I mean, that would be huge for me. Huge. Once again, I'm going back. I like fish. You know, eagles, they swoop down, they eat fish. Have you seen the talons on an eagle? If you've ever been to a zoo where there's an eagle, I mean, those talons are, and the only problem I have with this is I'm not a big fan of heights. And I mean, I've seen eagles soaring and they're up there pretty high. So I would be a mid-range to a walking bald eagle. I'd spend a lot of my time as an eagle walking or flying at a lower height I'd have to look out for power lines and tall buildings and stuff, but I think I could pull off it being an eagle. Okay.
That's a pretty good pick.
I get the next one now. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep, you get on the turn.
Okay. Timberwolf.
All right.
Real quick. I like this climate. Timberwolves hang out in North America. I like venison. Primary diet of the timberwolf is venison. I could be really happy living as a timberwolf. But I want to be the alpha. I want to be the one in charge. I don't want to be like just some pack wolf. I want to be the wolf.
Yeah, bringing up with every one of your picks, you brought up food, which is a really good thought, because my downside with being a dog is the dog food is not as quality as eating some venison or fish on a regular basis, to be fair. I mean, that's a really good point.
I will say, though, that some of the canned soft dog food looks pretty tasty. I haven't actually tried it.
Yeah, okay.
Depends on what your owner is willing to spend on you. But that is a good concern.
All right. Well, I'm going to go for my pick number 8. I'm going to go away from food on this one. And if I'm going to come back as an animal, I want people to like me, to think I'm cute, and to be maybe if I was in a zoo, something that might be a main attraction. And if you're talking about which animal's cuter, I think a koala bear is probably one of the cutest animals out there. I've never heard someone complain about a koala bear. I'm pretty sure I'd be a fan favorite. I'd get a lot of attention. I don't have to do a lot. I just got to hang out in a tree. I think that's one that when you look at different reasons to be liked, a koala bear is going to get you liked.
Yeah, very lovable animal.
Yep.
I think they can be ferocious at times, though, too. If I'm right, I think there's times where they can be they can defend themselves okay too.
Yeah.
Which kind of actually fits into Mr. Banky's personality. He can be that fun, lovable guy, but if you cross him sometimes, he can be pretty aggressive.
Are you? Yeah, remember that if you decide to vote for Mr. Slender or Mr. Hoppy.
Yeah. A koala bear might fit your personality pretty well, Mr. Banky. That's interesting. I never even thought of that one. Interesting.
All right, Mr. Hoppy, you're up.
I've got 2 picks left, and I've got a bunch of animals on my board that I'm debating between right now, because this is where it gets tough. I'll break out my last prop for my 9th pick, and I'm going to be drafting an elephant as my number 9 pick. Yep. Again, memory is great. I mean, you have the classic an elephant never forgets. You got again, this is my wife's stuffed animal, Ellers. She's probably gonna be ticked at me. I don't show her this video, but they're smart. They're huge. They're not getting taken down easily.
No.
As long as you make it past being a baby, you're gonna live a pretty long life. Spend some time in the water. Eat up to 500 pounds of branches and leaves a day. I just, happened to pull that off the top of my head. That fact came back to me. I didn't do any research ahead of time at all. And I think a good animal to come back as.
Yeah. That was going to be my my final pick. Yeah, that's big.
Now my pick number 10, this is where I'm really stuck. There's a couple animals that I'm going with, and I think I'm going to follow Mr. Benke's kind of rationale here for a last pick. When you're at the zoo, animals that you like to see, they're cute, they're fun. It's my favorite spot to stop whenever we're doing our tours, and I'm going to go with a sea otter as my final pick.
Nice.
Again, they're playful. They can swim, which, fun fact about myself, I'm not a good swimmer at all. I can't float. It's impossible for me to float. I'm not buoyant. And so a sea otter for me would be.
I see you put sea potter. I understand why you put potter in there, because it's going to get you, everyone wants a little Potter.
I thought
Yeah.
That's not what we're drafting here.
I'm going to go back in the revision history. I think you threw that P on there. I don't remember typing that. But I'll leave it at that. I think that's a pretty good rationale for Sea Otter there.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Wasn't on my radar, but I like the pick.
Yeah.
This gets tough, and I'm going to go with the rationale that we haven't really used yet. So I got my last pick is probably going to be called the crepe pick of this draft. I'm aware of it. You got to listen to my rationale here, and I'm going to go with a pig. Here's why. There's two reasons. First reason, what do pigs do? Lay around in mud and eat. So you gotta be lazy, and eat, and put on weight. Like, that's your goal in life, is to put on weight. How many of us just wish our goal was to put on weight, eat, and lay around? I mean, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Second reason is, when we're looking at, I would like to give back to society if I was going to be reincarnated. And pigs, they give back to society when their life is over with. I will then become bacon after I am a pig. And I think the fact, I want to look out for people. What do people like? Bacon. You got to like a pig as an animal to reincarnate as.
Nice.
Pigs are smart
good.
too. They are very smart animals.
Yes.
All right. Good pick. Does that bring me to the final pick of the draft?
You have the last
Final
pick
pick.
right here.
I have two left, and I'm gonna go with the one that I think will get me the most votes. It is an animal that I've only seen in a zoo. However, we recently also saw this animal on a Jeopardy episode. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. And as you know, I've never been tall. So I'm going with a giraffe. I'm going to go with a giraffe. I never in my life have experienced what it feels like to be the tallest one around. Now, I mean, I remember one time I felt tall, but that was when I was standing in a room having a conversation with Miss Salicki, Mrs. Kohler, and Mr. Kittle. And I felt tall then, but then I walked out the door and, there's Mr. Peterson and Mr. Valentine, and then I didn't feel tall again. So if I was a giraffe, I'd always be the tallest. There's some downsides to this pick. I understand. Giraffes don't look very stable on their legs, do they? Getting a drink is a challenge. Have you seen the giraffes by the water hole have to spread their legs way out?
Yeah.
But also eating. If you find a tree, you just eat the leaves off the tree. It's right there for you.
Oh yeah.
And I would think that the view would be outstanding.
That's
point. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what giraffe's eyesight is like, but I think just being up there. And again, I think the main thing for me is I'd like to know what it's like to be tall.
That's good.
That is good. Do we want to? We're at about 23 minutes on the video here. Now, what was your last one that you left off? Let's all maybe throw one out that we were thinking about putting on.
Sure.
But didn't make the final list.
One of you guys go ahead. Go ahead. What didn't make the list for you?
Mr. Bank, you want to go or you want me to take it?
You go first.
All right. Well, my number one that I almost did, that almost made my list, being from Hortonville, was going to be the polar bears. Tough animal, really don't get taken down much. The other one was going to be a hippopotamus, because those things as well, they sit in the water all day. They're aggressive. They're huge. They're tougher than you'd expect. They seem like they'd be like kind of cute animals, but they're tough. You don't mess with a hippopotamus.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are killed by hippopotamus each year.
I have
hippopotami. I'm not sure what the plural is there.
Hippopotamuses.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hippo was on my list, Mr. Hoppy.
Oh, yeah?
One that I was debating on was going to be a zebra. Because as humans, sometimes wearing vertical stripes is a risky choice. I would just want to rock vertical stripes all day, every day.
There you go.
Okay. Can I throw my last two out here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sea turtle,
Nice.
long lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have to go through this whole reincarnation thing again. And I thought tortoise, because they live really long, but sea turtle just seems a lot more enjoyable.
You're a little more
Swim.
mobile. More mobile.
More mobile, yeah. And then kind of a lot of the same arguments as Mr. Hoppy had. I went with rhino,
Mm-hmm.
the rhinoceros. I mean, people aren't going to mess with you, and you got a big horn coming out of the front of your face, and they can just charge you, and everybody backs off. So,
Yeah, I mean, with elephant and rhino, you got to be a little careful with poachers. And I didn't check with you guys ahead of time, but this is an anti-poaching webcast, correct? We're anti-poacher.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. I just want to make sure we wanted to come out as a strong front against poaching here as a group. So,
yes.
All right. Well, I tell you what,
that's a good
there are a lot of good
transition.
animals.
There's a lot of animals you could come back as.
Yeah.
And have a pretty enjoyable life.
Mr. Hoppy, are we making a Google form for this one as well?
Of course. I got to keep my streak alive, hopefully.
All right. Well, I'm going to end with explaining, I want to reiterate, and Mr. Schlender did a good job bringing this up at the start. This is not our favorite animals. This is the best animals to come back as if you were to be reincarnated. So
correct.
When you are considering who to vote for, who had the best draft, remember that. I'm not going to say that maybe people are voting based on popularity, but don't do that. Don't vote for the person, vote for the animals.
Truth.
And that's all I have to say. Any other thoughts from you two?
I would just add this. Just vote.
Mm-hmm.
Just vote. Get involved.
Do your civic duty.
Yes. Yeah. And hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
We're glad to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
It's been great.
I'm sure our audience will enjoy a new voice to listen to.
Well, I can see why you guys are getting the following that you are now being a part of this. I understand why you're getting the following you are now.
I don't know if that's a backhanded insult since our last video got about 65 views, but
no, I just get it. I understand why you have the following. So, good.
All right. Well, thanks. Remember to go and vote and have a great weekend.